Hi everybody. How is everybody? I'll move my fan. I was warm because it's July. Which brings me to my topic today. You're sleepy? I'm sorry you're sleepy, Fab. It's awfully late for you. It is Christmas in July. And I've been celebrating all month Christmas in July. I even have, Christmas stamps on my work surface. And I want to today see if I can get that to be where I want it to be. Sorry for all the adjustments. I've had a youth streamer up here, and sometimes youth streamers can be crazy. I have been looking all over. You've seen me use this tool. This is my favorite tool on the planet. But what I want to make today requires smaller holes. And for whatever reason, my little Altoids tin that has all my hole punches is gone. And what I want to punch through is a little bit thicker than what a regular handheld punch would work with. So I was looking for something like this. This is a Japanese screw punch. Fab called it a Japanese board, kind of similar thing. It's used in bookmaking. And I was going to show you how to make a fun little book. Still going to show you how to make a fun little book. We're just going to improvise. So, is everybody having fun with July? Are y'all ready for July to not be July anymore? For it to be a cooler month? I'm ready for it to be a little bit cooler. Really, I can't complain too badly. This month has not been bad at all. In the past, well, even last year, oh my goodness, we had horrid weather. Horrid. It was so hot. And this month has been really very, very nice comparatively. What I'm going to start with the base of the book, and you'll see why I want to begin with that. The base of the book is going to be about 5 inches wide. And since this cutter stops just shy of 5 inches, I'm going to mark 5 inches on there. And I want this to be about 5 inches across, okay? Now, you can make this however you want. I just chose 5 inches because I wanted 5 inches. If you want yours a little bit bigger, you can make it a little bigger. And we need 2 of those that are going to be 5 inches across. Hi, Jen. Did you find your chat? They hide it in the new Ustream, don't they? There's little tabbies over on this side of it, and you have to find it. Yeah. And then I want my cover to be about 7 inches long. Now, if you don't want to cut this book board like this, if I'm not mistaken, Mommy has in the store 5x7 pieces. Maybe. Mommy, do you have 5x7 pieces? Can you tell somebody? And so then you wouldn't have to go ahead and cut it because it would already be cut, right? Yes, I think you do too. And the other thing you need to decide is if you want your book up and down or side to side. Now, I am going to use tonight some just regular pieces of cardstock, but I want this big enough that also if I wanted to put in here some Christmas cards, it would be big enough for Christmas cards too. Because I'm going to show you how to bind this so that you can use all kinds of fun stuff as your filler and add to it. You could make it ahead of time and add to it, and it would be really, really cool. So this is going to be your cover. I'm choosing to have mine 5x7, but if you didn't want to put Christmas cards, you wanted to make your pages long, you can make it where it'll open this way, okay? And now we need a spine. So the reason you had to make a decision if you want it this way or this way, you need to make your spine. So I want mine up and down. And so my spine needs to be 7 inches. And it can be any width. I think I'm going to make this one about 2 inches just because that's what I want to make it. And then I'm going to measure and cut this again at 7 inches. Okay, so now I've got this cut at 7 inches, and all is good with the world. Save these because sometimes you need little pieces for various projects, and so I'm going to save those. Yes, yes, Fab, I'm saving scraps. And so this is going to be the base of your book. All right? Everybody see that? Now, I want to well, I was thinking I was going to do this, but I'm not going to do this part. If you wanted to, at this point, before you poke your holes, you can decide how many eyelets across it would be, okay? Because maybe you want to reinforce it with eyelets. You don't have to, but you can, at this point, I would take, this is just a tip, I'm not going to actually do it, and put your eyelets down here and say, okay, I need, 6 across or 5 across or whatever. But see how many eyelets you want across, and keep that in mind, because see, when you start poking holes, sometimes your eyelets will overlap if you get them too close, and you don't want that to happen. So measure how far before you start poking holes. And what I am going to do, and you could use this with your Tim Holtz ruler, or I'm just going to use the edge of my clip scrap ruler that I have here. And I'm going to measure in about 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to mark every 1/4 of an inch on this 2 inches where I'm going to want to put a hole. Okay? And just to make it easy on me, I'm just going to flip it this way and do the same thing again. And I'm going to alright, so I've marked my book board, can you tell? On both ends. And that's going to be where I'm going to put holes. And you notice I'm working on a piece of cork. And so what I'm going to do is take my handy dandy, it's kind of like an awl, it's a type of rasp that I use in my jewelry making and stuff. It's a square and it's sanded on all sides, so I can take it and spin real quick like that and make a hole. Okay, so I'm going to poke some holes here, and I'm poking this before I cover it with paper, and then I'm going to find those holes again when I put the paper on it. You broke out your big kick today? You've never used your big kick, Jen? What is wrong with you? You need to show it some love. Did what all by hand? Cutting out? Did I push through a brick? Almost. Oh, cutting your flowers? Yeah. I could use a crocodile if I had one, but I don't have a crocodile, Raven. But yes, if you had a crocodile, you could poke it with your crocodile. This is doing just fine for me and doing what I want. I I need a Christmas gift. Love is my Christmas gift. Yeah, I don't have a crocodile. My Anywhere hole punch works great when I can find the right size bit for it, and that's what I would have been using. But I'll just do that, and it'll work fine. So. Tell Vince that the cuddle bug is for him and that you need a new Fiskars. Honestly, I love, love, love my my Big Shot. I wouldn't replace it for anything in the world except for with another one. It's just really, really nice. And I have so many dies. $600? Wow. I guess I've spent $600 on a tool before, but not a scrappy tool. My very first Hewlett Packard printer was about $600. And I didn't wear it out. My computers outgrew it. It would not work with the newest computer I bought. And so I gave it to another friend who had an older computer, and she used it forever. She finally had to get a computer that outgrew it too. But it'd probably still be working if it worked with modern technology. Yeah, they force you to upgrade sometimes. But, I mean, I probably had it, Vedette, honestly, for 5 or 6 years before I passed it on to a friend. So, I mean, in printer years, that's pretty good, I think. And currently I have two. I have a large format HP PhotoSmart, and I have an all-in-one. And I love both of them. They're great. My all-in-one, and Mama can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like $30 or $35. Yeah. Yeah, Bill said it was 30 or 35. He can't remember either, but and it's great. They were in the paper at one of the computer stops one time, and Mom called and she said, "You need a printer?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And she said, "No, really, you need a printer?" And I'm glad I got it because I'm not wearing out my PhotoSmart by using this. I'm just sanding across these to get that extra paper that came with poking the hole up. Again, if you used your crocodile, you wouldn't have that problem. I realize that. But as we discussed, I don't have one. So, but there we go. Much better. And there we go. Okay, so now I've got holes in my book. And I'm going to choose some papers for the cover. And the cover doesn't have to go all the way across because I will show you. I'm going to use a piece of red for one side of it. Ooh, I like the holly paper. See the holly paper? This is part of Wassil, the basic gray pack. And I love this pack. Let's see. Oh, I like the gifts. Those are cute too. But I like these dots. And I like the holly. And I like that stripe. I think that stripe might be the inside. And I think I'm going to use the holly on the outside. And this stripe on the inside, maybe. Okay, with the holly, do you like the stripe on the inside or the dots on the inside better? Anybody? Anybody care? I have one for dots and one for stripes on the inside. Another for stripes. So these two. We'll save the dots for something else, Cheryl. We'll use dots for another project. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put this on till about right here. Okay? So I'm going to measure so that it has a 1/2 inch on each side. So if this was 5 across, which it looks like it's a little bit less than 5 across, so what I would do up here, and this is going to be the inside, so I'm going to measure this twice. I'm going to measure on the back side because it'll be easier for me to see it. I would measure 6 inches across because I want a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm going to make a mark at 6. Well, actually, I'm just going to cut it in half. Hello, right? And then it was 7 down, and so I need it to be 8 down. And so I'm going to cut it right here. So if, for whatever reason, I did not have it 5 by 7, I could, you know, just measure a 1/2 inch on each side of what it actually is, and that would be the easiest way to remember how to cut it. Okay? Now, on the inside, actually, these are the insides. We're going to trim that down again in a minute. Sorry, guys. Wasn't thinking. Because I want the holly on the outside. So, let's do this again. Okay, this is my outside. On my inside, let me trim that down a little bit. Instead of 5, I want to come in to like 1/4 of an inch, okay? So that would be at 4 3/4, right? And just look at the inside of our cover. Yes, because I want it to fit like this. You see how it has an inside lip? Okay, so and then on the inside, I can keep remembering where my mark is. I'm going to take that much off so that when this is on here, it's going to fit like that. So it's the right length all the way around. Hi, Kath. I want it shorter because it's the inside of the cover. This is going to wrap around, okay? And so this is just going to lay on top. Does that make sense? Okay. I think that's the right size for that. Yep, perfect. Okay. So I'm going to glue this on. And the best thing for gluing the cover on is the Beacon 3-in-1. See what I did, guys? I made this way bigger than I had to. I'm going to trim off again. Sorry. Hello. It doesn't have to be that big because it is, it's going to wrap around and it's going to have a piece covering it. I'll show you. We're gonna have lots of little weird stripes today. Let's try this again. Alright. This is gonna be my cover. And I want it to cover like this. And the reason I want it to cover like this is when I do the spine is gonna come into it. Okay? Does that make sense? So. Okay. Sorry, didn't turn my glue upside down like I normally do. Okay, here we go. Now, for just putting the paper on the cover, I'm using the beacon because it's not going to ripple on me, and it's a quick tack. Yes, pink flamingo. Oh, sorry guys, I'm being invaded by flamingos. Okay. Right now there's a huge giant clearance sale going on over at stampo.com. for several like different name brand things. So I know that seemed kind of random, but the flamingo jumping out and grabbing us reminded me to say something. Because that is where he came from. I'm very excited. I got my new stamps ordered for my next couple of posts. And now I'm waiting for him to come. Okay, so we have these on the covers. Now, the easiest way at this point to finish this cover off is with a good double stick tape, like Miracle Tape. And I'm going to miter the corners, but not too close to the edge. Okay? I'm going to miter them out. Like this. So, mitered corners, okay? And then I'm going to take and bend, and bend, and bend. And I'm going to put down here some tape. Spock would say fascinating. What, me taping is fascinating, Fab? Oh, being assembled? Yeah. I love to make books. I think they're very fun, and it makes a nice, it just feels nice that you've made a book and and put it all together. There we go. Taking the backing off. And you want to have your bone folder nearby, or a popsicle stick, or something to press down your paper with when you start folding it over. And you'll fold, and I like to just kind of give it a good squish with my bone folder. And I fold this end next, and again, give it a good squish. And then now you're to these, and I would like, what I do is take and squish this in a little bit at the corner before I pull over the rest of the paper. To me, it just makes a neater edge right there. I'm just pushing down just a smidge right there. You can kind of see where I did that. And then pull this over and burnish, as Fab would say. Or, as Leslie would say, smooth, smooth, smooth. So it makes a beautiful cover. Okay. So this is one side. Now, when I get the other side done, this will be covered too. But right now, it's just hanging out. Because see this, we're going to cut a piece of paper here in a minute. It's going to go all the way across. Okay. So is everybody having a happy Friday? I had a bizarre Friday. A bizarre Friday. Started out with starting to leave the house and cops running down the street. Thought I had stepped onto the set of, you know, Bad Boys or something. And, yeah. It ended with me streaming for you guys. Yay! See, the streaming for you guys was what I've been living for all day. You did a 10-hour shift behind the bar. Wow. Serve a lot of drinks, did you, Kath? Good. I've got a bunch of people going over to Dublin in the end of November to do pub crawls, and that's going to be pretty cool. My tape didn't go all the way across, so I added a little more tape. This weekend, I will be participating in a Christmas in July blog hop. So check out my post on Saturday for that. It's, of course, Christmas Eve. And it's not quite finished. I'll show it to you guys. I've got to finish it when I get done streaming. But it'll be fun. I think it would be fun to work in a bar. I know you'd always meet some interesting people. And really, it's kind of like being a psychiatrist too, because I mean, you get to hear all of their tales, you know. Oops, that did not work well. Let me pull this up and put another piece of tape there, guys. I don't want this part to be loose. I want it to be nice and sturdy. So and 5-inch heels. No. I have a couple of my friends who do very traditionally man feels that men would feel. But these women are doing these jobs, and I sent them today a picture of a garage where they used the heels to as tools, as tool hangers. It was kind of fun. Okay, so we have 2 sides. All right, this is what the front will look like, and then we're going to put a piece on here. Now, remember those pieces that I told you to hang on to? Well, let me show you what I like to use them for as well. I like to use them as a shim to measure how far apart I want my cover to be to a spine. And I use 2 of them because that's the length or the width I want there. Okay? So I'm going to measure now how long this piece needs to be that's going to cover from here to here. It's going to be about 5 inches because I want it to overlap about 1/2 inch. So this is going to be 5 inches to cover from here to here. And then I want to make it a 1/2 inch on either side again. So 5 by 8 is what that's going to be. So I'm going to move this over to the side so I can put a 5 by 8 piece of red. And I'm going to use, you know, what might have been fun was to use that for the spine. But I'm going to use I may use the back side of our polka dots, guys, if I don't have another piece of red like that. I do. I have 2 pieces of red, the back side of the stripes and the back side of the polka dots. So I'm going to cut 1 piece 5 by 8. And I like how on the basic gray it has this grunged edge right here, so I want this to be part of that. So and 5. So this will go across. Then on the inside, I'm not going to need it to be as far because on the insides of our pages, this is going to come across. So I just need a piece that will be about, I'm going to cut it 4 inches just to be sure. Okay. Okay. You got a Stella ad? Ah. Okay, because this is going to be on the outside of my book, I want it to be plenty sturdy. That's the smaller one. I want this to be plenty sturdy. And so I'm going to add some tape here to the edge of where it's going to meet on the cover. And I'm going to add tape to my spine as well. So there's that. And rather than guessing here where the tape is going to go, I'm just going to put the tape on here, but not over my holes. And I'm going to fill this whole piece up with tape. Ooh, pear cider sounds fun. I like pears. Oh, I know. I am too. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but y'all need to look for my post on Monday. I am finishing up with my ornaments, and it's going to be my Sakura log, or my Sakura post for Monday. And yeah, Sam and I, we're going to put the tree up and take a picture with the tree up. So, a while ago, Sam sat down and she said, "You know what, Dad? We're putting the tree up tomorrow." And Bill's like, "Oh, no, you're so silly." And thinking she was just, making up stories or, playing. And I looked at him and said, "Nope, we're putting the tree up." And he's like, "Really?" I think we're only just going to put the top up, not the whole tree. Just to give the illusion of treeness. So, but I want the branches in the background. So, the cat will think it's a holiday. The cat will be so excited that the tree is up. I don't know about those of you with cats, but as soon as the box comes out of the back room, she is, "Oh my God, the tree is going up. Oh," and just running amok. So, she will be in a tear tomorrow. Oh, she loves boxes, but she loves the branches of the tree even more, Fab. She thinks the tree is just cha-cha. That's from the time we put it up. We usually put it up and let it sit undecorated for a couple of days just to get her calmed down. And then we start in with the putting of it up and decorating the branches and get the lights on and turn those on. But yeah, for the first 48 hours, she is just like, "There's a tree inside. Oh my God, there's a tree." And just losing her little cat mind. So it'll be a really banner year for the cat, because hey, tree at Christmas and tree in July. What cat wouldn't love that? I love Miracle Tape because it comes in this itty bitty size, which is perfect for my holes here. Aw, I'm sorry, Jen. That is a real tough one. I'm sorry for your loss, Jen. My my furry children were my first children. And it was really hard. We lost Sassafras first. And that was my cat. And that was at Easter. And then in November that same year, our furry Charlie dog died too. So, and yeah, to that point, we had our furry children longer than we had our human children. So, people were sure, oh no, she's going to be devastated. People were sure that when we had Will, that we would stick the dog outside and the cat outside. And we're like, you know, if the baby can't handle the animals, we'll stick the baby outside. Because they were here first. It was their house first. But, so, this I want to be my front cover. And it's gonna be like this. This will be the top. This will be the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and take the tape off for that part right there. So I'm going to do one side first. I'm going to line this up. And the neat thing about this is this piece that people normally would rip off is just exactly the perfect amount of space that I need it to be. And so I'm going to line that up there and there. So this is on. Okay. Now I'll stick some glue right there for the rest of it. Night, Kath. I'm glad you came by. That there. Now, the next part is I'm going to lay this one down. And remember, I used this as my shims to see how far apart I wanted it. And I'm going to line this up. And the cool thing about this stripe going sideways on this back cover is that it helps line everything up. So there's where that one goes. Okay. And for this one's going to go right here. Seeing how this is coming together. Okay. Well, let me finish the book, Fab, before you follow. So you can see where I'm going with it. And then you can go to bed. How about that? Because really, after this, we're so close. And you'll see how close. Just a shake of a lamb's tail. Okay, thank you. And I'm opening this. Okay. Putting down my shims. Are you ready? Flipping over. And sticking that down. Alright, so here's our cover. And that's where it's going to fold right there, okay? So, before we go too far and forget to poke our holes, we're going to grab our little tool or a pair of scissors or a pen or whatever you want to use. I'm going to use this scissor and I'll come through here and I'm just poking. And that's the glorious part about working on this piece of cork is I can poke without worrying about it coming through. And you can see where I poked right there, see? Okay, so that's there. I'm going to put a skinny piece of tape right across the top of that. You need your beauty sleep. Yes, my love, you can have your beauty sleep in a minute. Okay. So, and then over here, make sure I have tape going all the way across right there. And right there. And then up here as well. Okay. So, again, I'm going to pre-fold here and here. Okay. And take my tape off real quick. And here. There we go. Okay, so this is going to fold here and here. Okay. You can tear it, but I like it cut. It doesn't, it's not scored like score tape is, so it makes an okay edge, but not as pretty as the score tape I imagine would. I don't have score tape, so I'm only speculating. But let's see. Okay. Okay, so this is going to go here. All right. And before I do that, I'm going to put some more tape right here, because the reason I'm putting tape here instead of glue is because this is going to be the heart of our book, and it is going to get the most wear and tear. And I could, I guess, use fatter tape, couldn't I? Because I have fatter tape. Let me grab fatter tape. I'll grab fatter tape here. But this is going to get the most wear and tear of our book. So I want it to be really strong, and the score tape is really strong. So I'm going to put a piece of score tape here. Sorry, not score tape, miracle tape. It's miracle tape, not wonder tape. Sorry, guys. Oh, don't be sorry, Vidette. I'm not sure what the difference is between Wonder Tape and Miracle Tape. Miracle Tape, I do know, is what they sell at Viva Las Vegas Stamp, and that's where I got this from. I'm not sure if one can turn water into wine, Fab. That is a very good question. Okay, that's going to go there. Right. And just for extra measure, I'm going to stick this down really good. Okay. And come through here and grab and lift. Grab and lift. Grab and lift. And grab and lift. Okay. And just for extra measure, along the edge here and here, I'm going to add just a smidge of glue. And I'm using my Tombow multi-purpose glue. And by smidge, I mean just a smidge. See, very smidge-like. You're fine. I am not afraid of your cheekiness, Fab. I'm sticking that down. And rub, rub, rub. Okay. And the final paper is the inside right here. Okay. This is the inside of our book. And so this is just going to be, yes, Raven, the thinner tape, all of these tapes are Miracle Tape. It comes in sheets and in, I believe, 6 sizes of tape. Yes, thanks, Fidette. And really, I used to only use like red line tape, you know, with the red liner on it. And since getting Miracle Tape, it's just as strong or stronger. And I like it also because not only is it, let's see, let me do something funny here. Okay, here we go. It's hard to, this is called Leslie Ray is too impatient to wait for her stuff. I'm going to do that. And take my small thing and use it as a squeegee. Another use for your scraps. I like it because you can use it and not, like, if you wanted to, say, make an embossed line and you took and put a line of the red line tape down and you put a line of the Miracle Tape down, put your embossing powder on it. If you heat the red line tape, it curls and bubbles and does really unattractive things if you were wanting a nice straight line. Whereas the Miracle Tape will take the heat. It's very cool. Vedette, they have some really good sales, so just wait until there's a sale. Hello, Lisa. We are making a Christmas album because I'm crazy and I do Christmas in July. And we've almost got the album book covered. And yeah, I'll put this here. So here is our cover, okay? And the inside, I have a passing acquaintance with reality. Yes, Christmas in July. Christmas in July, it's how I roll in my house. Okay, so now I'm going to start forming it into a book so it's not just flat. And when I do this, I do it very gently, okay? You want to do this part gently the first time to make sure all your papers fold really nice. See how nice that folds right there? Isn't that beautiful? That, my friends, that is a good spine, okay? And so here is your spine. And I love how this came out. And listen to it. See how it feels good? It sounds good, okay? Feels good and sounds good. Okay, now I need... Hey, Will? What? Will you hand me my felting box, please? Okay. No, I'm not going to felt. I'm going to go ahead and re-cut these holes, though. So, if I could find my little tool that I just had. Here it is. Now, I want to do this gently because... Where's your felting box? I thought it was in the living room, there, by the couch. Sorry, I'm turning. Yes, I am recording this. The word is sturdy. Thank you, Pab. My base I used for the book cover basil board, which is nice, thick, like consistency. Good night, Fab. And the basil board is really, really thick. If you go to cutandpastememories.com, you can find basil board there. Absolutely. We're still going to go for about another hour, JJ. So you're fixing to see the even cooler part. You get basil board at Cut and Paste Memories, Vedette. It's my mom's store. And the paper that I'm using is from a past basic gray Christmas pack called Wassail. Like a wassailing we go. Okay, so I want these holes. I'm going to come over here and check and make sure they look okay on this side. And I'm just using, for those of you who came in late, I normally would cut these with my Japanese screw punch. And I have it here. But I have the really big hole, and my little tin with all the holes is playing hide and seek with me today. So we're just going to roll with it and go on. And as previously discussed, I do not own a crocodile, so, you know. you weren't happy with the way the page is attached. I have several ways that I like to attach pages. This is going to be how this book goes together. And the reason this book is going to go this way is because we're going to string through here some strings. And I'm going to use, I was going to use some baker's twine, but I don't like the way the color of this twine is, and I don't want to take time to alter the color. And so instead, I'm going to use some embroidery floss to do it. You could use a thread that has a little bit of a elasticity to it if you wanted to. That's up to you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I need the box of embroidery floss as well. Lisa, to be honest, I couldn't quite tell you about Coptic bindings because I'm not familiar with what that was called. It may very well be. The reason I want this to go up and down is because the pages, we can then slip them in. If you're worried about slipping them in, you could leave it open on this side and then tie them as you put them in. But I'm gonna go ahead and seal it, so I'm just rubbing a gentle sand over that. Okay, so there's that. I'm done with blue. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on, and I could, as I put them on, put beads through here as well. Okay? But instead, if you didn't want to put beads, you could put it on and then do some weaving, whatever you want to do. You could put it on and then stick something over the top of it so you didn't have to see it. Okay? So that's our inside. And I'm going to get out my needles. Well, I thought my needles were in this box. No. Okay, well, here are these needles. Will, the thread box that's on top of the back of the couch back there. I thought I had a big eye needle. There it is. Now, Will, the embroidery floss thread box on top of on back of the couch. It's clear. Hi, Don. Yeah, it was 100 plus here today. Also, I believe there was a record broken in Dallas today. Also, I'm not in Dallas, but I believe there was a record broken. Hang on just a second. Let me get my thread box since the person who's supposed to be doing it is too busy not doing it. Right there. Right there. See, originally I was going to either use this or this, and neither of those really appeal to me. I need something like that, or like that. I like that one. Okay. Now, a high of 77 today. Where are you again, Vedette? Ah. Well, that's not too bad a temperature. I was just planning a cruise for some folks that are going to go from Quebec down to, from Montreal, down to Boston for the changing of the leaves. And that just sounds like a really fun thing. And I was reading for them that they're concerned with how hot it's been, what that's going to do to the leaf changing. So, yeah. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my knots on the inside. And I'm going through the back here, up through the front. And honestly, I'm just concerned with this first signature, okay? I'm going to go through it again. And up again. Now, I don't have enough to go around a third time. But what I have here is, this is what the back looks like. I went through it twice. And this is what this side looks like. I have one through and then this one loose, okay? Now, I can go ahead and tie this off. And then I'll do another one. Now, you can go through your holes as many times as you want. For this purpose, I only did 2. You could do, for that matter, just 1. And I'm just tying it with a little knot. Now, if this action was on the back, you could use these tie-offs. You could, pull them up to where they were in different places, and you could bead this or do whatever. This action does not have to go on the inside. It can go on the outside. I want it to go on the inside. Okay? I'm going to do like 2 more just to get you started so you can kind of see how it's going to look back here. And then we're going to slip some pages in. Okay? And an easy way, I should have done this to start with, an easy way to measure this is to use your book. You can go around it 1, 2. Like this one, maybe I want 3 wraps around. So just do that. We've had some weird storms here and there going off. I like summer storms. They make everything smell so fresh after the rain. Last weekend we had such nice stormy weather. All day Sunday it was nice and cool and we were able to leave the doors open. So okay. Again, I'm going to come down. And pull up. And make your holes on the ends as big as you need them to be. If you need them to be big enough to sustain a bigger piece of thread. You know, just make them as big as you need them to be. If you want to reinforce them with eyelets, go for it. It's up to you how you want to decorate it, how you want to make it. Because the book board is really sturdy, and how I constructed it, I don't feel the need for eyelets. But you can use eyelets. See this one? This one I used 3. And so there's 3 showing through on the back side. Okay. And then here's this one. I'll tie it off. And if you want to, you know, like one of them is 2, one of them is 3, you can make them as varied or as similar, all that you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. There's 2. Do one more. And after you do these holes, you could add more. Because see, mine still has room to put more. Yes, you did see me use my trimmer to cut my basil board with. Whenever you do it, I use my guillotine trimmer. Make sure you just put some extra weight on it. So when I was cutting this, I made sure I held down with it and cut. Okay, just give it a little extra weight so that you don't, so it doesn't travel, and you can cut very simply with your cutter. Otherwise, I recommend using a craft knife, not like the X-Acto, but the bigger ones, like you would, like a box cutter kind of knife, and a metal ruler. You could use that too. So, okay, now while I'm finishing up this third one, like I said, I'm going to finish up these 3 holes, and then I'm not going to bore you with the sewing of the other 4 holes. I think you've got this. If anybody needs me to do it one more time, I'll do it one more time. But I think y'all can, you've got this part, right, guys? Okay? You're right. Okay. Now, let's think about our signatures. If you were paying attention earlier, I said one of the things you could use for your signatures is Christmas cards. And you could do this like after Christmas, after you've gotten all your Christmas cards, and you could then slide them in under here. I was going to see if I had any Christmas cards made over here. Let's see. I have yeah. I have a funny Christmas card. This is an off-color Christmas card. This one's pink and turquoise. You could use your Christmas cards, and you could either slide it in through both. This is sliding in through both. Okay. Or you could slide it under one. You could use these as your signatures. All right. And you could do multiple ones of them. Let's see. What else have I got over here for cards? Okay, this one says best witches. Let's pretend it's a Christmas card. I'll show you. Okay, if you wanted to do it through both holes, you could. You can do it through one hole. Like this. Hang on. See if I can pick up a hole. Here we go. So you can do it through one at a time. So here's one. There we go. And then pick this one up separately. Now, what I like about this book being 2 inches is this very thing right here. I've just picked up one card, has lots of bling on it. I have the second card here that is got some tape and dimension on it. So, obviously, I'm not going to do Christmas and Halloween in here, but you could if you wanted to. I think this would be great for graduations also, because think of all the graduation cards you get and stuff, and you could make a really cool, let's go backwards. That one doesn't want to go that way. We'll go backwards. I'll do it this way. You could make a really cool book with your cards, with all of your cards stacked in here, and then start adding other stuff. But see, this will start being your signature, and you see how they lay like this. And so then, if these were your Christmas cards, you could put stuff where people haven't written, or you could cover up what people have written, or you could just leave them. You don't have to cover them up at all. Use backs or add more signatures in to add pages to put photos and that kind of stuff. I just put the Halloween one in and this Christmas one in just to show you an example of using your cards, okay? I'm going to take these out because I'm not using my cards. I'm going to use some paper. I'm going to use some cardstock. So, does anybody have any questions? Actually, I don't want to use that cardstock. I'm going to use some of the paper in the paper pack. How about that? What a novel idea. Because this is going to match, right? Use those. I'm going to use another clean one. This one. I'm going to use these skinny pieces also, because it doesn't have to be exactly this height, okay? So that height, in case we were wondering, should be, it is 6.5 inches. So I'm going to make it, just cut my pieces at 6 inches. And these papers that I picked out are just a few more of the papers out of Wassel. Okay. So I'm going to make mine 6 1/4 for some of them. And this is 5.5 across. So I'm going to trim off about 3 inches. So the 9, this by 9 by 6 1/4. Okay. And I'm going to trim this piece of paper to 9 inches. Okay. And I'm going to trim this piece of paper to 9 inches. And some of these papers are just pieces from my making the book, okay? And then, I'm moving this out of the way. I'm going to take and fold in half. And I'll fold these pieces in half as well. Okay, and I'm going to bring my book back. Now, you do not have to put them in one at a time. You can put them in several at a time. And so I'm going to do this one. I'm stacking the one with the holly leaves. I'm doing presents on the outside, holly leaves, and this mistletoe-y looking paper. And I'm going to stick this, I'm going to do the second one. And the reason I'm going to do the second one is because I think I'm going to do a special one for the front cover that'll talk about, it's probably going to have a lot of journaling on it. Oops, did you see that? I just pulled that one out accidentally. I accidentally pulled my knot out. Normally I would take the time, and I didn't, and I apologize for not sharing this with you. I would take the time to add just a touch of either like crystal lacquer or some kind of glue to this knot to keep that from happening, and I didn't do that, so I apologize for not sharing that tip with you. So this just became a 2-er instead of a 3-er. Okay. Alright, so this signature is going to have some present-y things, a short page in it, okay, and then another long page, and then here's the second side, okay. So this one, I'm going to do the short page on the outside. Add this in. And add that page in. And as I make my book, if I decide I need more pages, I can add more pages because they just slide in, guys. Look at that. What do you think? Are there any questions? Did I lose my chat? Real quick. Did anybody have any questions? I'm going to refresh my chat, guys. I'm not seeing you. Yes, I am using different sizes. It's a book for Christmas, Dawn. What I love about it is, let's say I wanted to make this at the beginning of the season. And I get started and I'm actually scrapping as I go, which never happens, but let's pretend. And so I'm scrapping as I go, and I can add more signatures if I need more or take out. I like that it can be different sizes on things. You could add anything in here. And this would work for all kinds of cool things. Wouldn't this be great as a baby book? And you could take pictures of people and stuff, and then have people write little notes to the mom and then glue those in. And like I said, for graduation, keep up with the graduation cards and the gift announcements and stuff, and do one for graduation. Tons of really cool stuff. And if you have your holes big enough, you can add extra. Exactly, it's expandable. No, because they're in there. See? They don't slide out. Unless you walk around with your book going, hey. And even then, they're not sliding out. Yeah, great way to use scraps and all that kind of fun stuff. So, this one I'm making for Christmas 2010 because, like I said, I never scrapbook on time. So, I want to take some of the funny things that we do during the season for Christmas and add to the pages. So, I want to definitely scrapbook the one of two pages that I have of my son, or two pictures that I have of my son with Christmas. Thank you, Dawn. That's from Basic Gray. It's called Wassel. And I love that you can make it really super chunky if you want to. And see, later when I find the pictures of the ornaments and stuff, I can put those, I can slide those in between other pictures. These pictures were taken at the beginning of the holiday season for us that year. They have what they call Christmas on the Square. And this was just before we got on our hayride. And this is me with the kids before we got on the hayride. And then Will went to see Santa. And this was for Sam at her Winter Wonderland production. She's so silly. And here's Sam and Will in front of the tree downtown. And then here's a picture of our tree. And that year we had taken and made a paper chain. You can kind of see right here the paper chain. And it's made out of purple papers.
And pink.
And we used glitter and we embossed and did that. And then it's all ornaments that the kids have made or that I've made with the kids all over the tree. So, very fun. So on the cover of this, I may do something very simple. Just have like a little book plate that says 2010. Okay. And then have stuff, have a little book plate that says 2010. And then have stuff on the inside, you know, have in that first signature some written stuff about it. Now, here comes the dilemma of the papers I chose don't match the colors. Well, my favorite thing to do with that is either mat it with black or white. And this paper set comes with a visual black. So I'm going to mat my pictures with this. And so that will fit in just fine. Are there any questions? Let's see. If I'm ignoring your questions, it's because my chat is frozen. Let me see if I can get that to come back. Hang on, guys. I'm going to pop my chat back out again. And I'll see if I can catch any questions that you may have. There y'all are. Okay. Night, Raven. I know, it's been being a little stinker. But while I'm here playing with our new book, I want to add some pages in. Or not add pages in, but mat some of my pages. So, these are all 3 by 5. And I'm going to leave them that size, or 3.5 by 5. So, I'm going to do a thin mat for them. So, I'm going to make them 4 inches across. That'll be an easy thing. I think that they're doing a lot of changes, and in doing those changes, they're not, they've got some kinks to work out, is what I think is going on. So, I wish they would work their kinks out on their time instead of my time, but that's okay. I understand. With change comes good things, right? Change equals growth. Growth is good. This is where we ourselves have to really practice tolerance, right, guys? Being tolerant of Ustream. Okay. Thought these were 3.5. They are 3.5. 4 inches with 1/4 inch margins seems really big. So I'm going to trim it down a little bit. I'm practicing tolerance, Dawn. Tolerance of Ustream. It's still better than some options, I think. I really like it. I treat it nice. It treats me nice. I don't want to jinx it for anybody, but I was watching Amanda's show on the new Ustream, and I had no commercials. No commercials. You didn't like the Spreecast, Jen? That is good to know. We need that feedback from you guys. There were many things that I did like about it. But there were other things that I didn't like about it. So, and if the things that we don't like outweigh the others, then, you know. Interesting. That is an interesting comment there about YouTube. I did not know that about YouTube. We may need to look at that. Okay, that needs to trim down just a smidge more. 5. I made these 5.5 instead of 5.25. So I'm gonna just wing it here. Alright. And am I getting it right? Is it JJ? See, the things I didn't like about live stream is how pixelated it was. And sometimes, I know with some things, when it's pixelated, it doesn't stay on the recording. Well, this definitely stayed on the recording, so I didn't like that. Spraycast. What did I say, Dawn? I meant Spraycast. Live stream. I'm sorry. What I don't like about live stream is how unuser-friendly it is. I checked it out, and I can't even tell when I'm on air. And the garbling sound. Okay, Jen. And see, I have watched a Spreecast, and they did not have that problem. And what I may do is do kind of like what I did with learning about my Ustream, is talk to some people who have been using it and see what they have found to make it better. Now, keep in mind, they were using it for something way different than what we were using it for. They were using it to do like a talk show, and they were not trying to demo. So, you know, to be a bunch of talking heads, it's not as important for some things. I mean, volume is, but it's not important for things like trying to demo where you're trying to see, as it is for. I have to trim this one. For a bunch of talking heads. Talking heads don't need all of that. So, but you know. Yeah. We tried it for our reboot segment, and apparently I moved too fast for that. That's what we were saying. Yeah, right. Glad you can't see me because you're in your PJs. Apparently I am very festive, according to my husband. I came home. It was very hot. I asked my son for some shorts, and he brought me my red shorts, and I'm wearing my green t-shirt. And he said, why are we wearing such, you know, Christmas things? And I could no longer call him a Christmas tree, because he's notorious for wearing a red shirt and green shorts year-round. And I told him, well, it was from my Christmas in July stream, and that I was looking festive for that. So, although I have threatened to stream naked, but, you know, really, how would you know unless I told you, right? I mean, because you don't see me right now, at least you don't. So how would you know? I mean, really, how would you know? Don's saying, I would know. I would just know, because I know those things. Yikes. I promise I won't craft naked. And if I do, I won't tell you. Right? Well, you know, they have those shows, the naked cook and all that stuff. And they mean that they don't add, you know, and cover up flavors and stuff. No porn streaming. Okay, fine. Oh, you see a green shirt? Yeah, it's Sam's green shirt right there. No, I'm wearing my green t-shirt, I promise. Okay, so this was at the first of the year, So I want to take it and I think I want to put the tree up first with the presents on the page behind it. I'm going to leave space here where I can go in and add a little bit of paper or whatever and journal about it being, you know, Christmas tree and all that kind of stuff. So, my trimmer is a tonic trimmer. It's a very nice trimmer. I have the small one. My big guillotine is on its way out the door because I've just about worn the numbers off of it, as well as had the blade sharpened probably for the last time. And it's time for a new one, and I'm going to replace it with a tonic. So, tonic, T-O-N-I-C. Just like that. And I like that it has this. And then there's a bigger one. This is the 9-inch one. And then there's a bigger one. It's like a 13-inch, I think, or something like that. Okay. Let's see. That's that. Now see, on this page, I could try to get this to fit. But yes, tonic. T-O-N-I-C. I'm going to put a sign here about Christmas on the Square. And then I'll have this funny picture of me and my kids. This is us waiting for the hayride. I'm going to leave plenty of spaces in here for journaling and such. And then here, let's see. I'll put this here. Where's the piece with what? Just add a little accent here on the side. Tonic has been doing cutting supplies forever. They make this little tool for distressing the edges. They make Tim Holtz scissors. Tonic is a good company for cutters and punches and tools like that. Okay, stick that in there. I'm going to write here about, this is the second picture that I have of Will with Santa. The reason this is the second picture I have with Will with Santa is because the first picture I have of Will with Santa, he was about 10 months old. He's a February baby. And he sat on Santa's lap and kind of looked at his hands and stuff and was just kind of mesmerized with Santa. The next year, Will decided Santa could not be trusted. And threw a teetotal fit when we stood in line for hours to go see Santa. We did not make him sit on Santa's lap. We do not have all the pictures of Will crying with Santa. We honored our kids, reply that he was not confident that Santa could be trusted, so we just did not make him sit there. And the next time, we tried year after year. We thought, okay, we'll go with friends, and friends like to sit on Santa's lap, and he would get up there, and then the friends would say, maybe not. And so my friends started getting annoyed with me, and I could no longer go with them to see Santa. So, this year, Will decided for his sister, that he would stand in line, and he would weather the line, and he would get up there, and for her, he would be brave and talk to Santa. And so he got all the way up there, and the whole time she's going, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it with you, Bubba. And he got up there, and he was committed to it. And he walked right up, and he sat down, and he sat with Santa and talked to him, and was all calm and cool and collected. And it was the Sam I Am who was like, I don't think so. And yeah. So at the age of 10, 10 months and 10 years, I have pictures of my son with Santa. And but none with my daughter with Santa. So we'll start working on that for 1 year down the road. They believe in Santa. They love Santa that comes to the house. It's the Santa that is Santa's helper out in the street, you know, doing the deal that they are leery of. And you know, that's okay. He's kind of a strange guy. So here we go. I'm going to leave this one blank. I'm going to put this picture of Sam I Am. I'm going to put it in here with her Winter Wonderland story. And so I have places to put more stuff. I have places to put, you know, lots of embellishments. If I want to, I can, you know, put in here any Christmas parties that we went to. I could make it into a December daily if I wanted to. You know, journal, take pictures of the food, put the pictures of the food in here. All kinds of stuff. And you could add more and more if you wanted these to be individual instead of all of them going through that one hole. You could, and that would give you even more signatures, if you understand what I'm saying. So now, what to do with this side? Like I said, you could just come up with a piece of cardboard or cardstock and cover it. You don't have to see it. You could have your knots out here and tie stuff, beads and stuff on here, fabrics, laces, whatever. Make this really chunky if you want to. You can leave it pretty simple if you want to. If you're adept enough with a needle, you could, you know, pull through, bead, go through, bead, you know, and do it as you go. There's any number of ways you can do this. After you get this all done, you could weave through here. That would be very pretty. Lots of fun ways to junk it up. And it's got, with a 2-inch spine, it's very, very thick, and you can get really chunky in here. Like I said, I'm going to go back and do some journaling. I'm going to add some buttons and just fun stuff in here to make it mine. You're welcome, Badette. I'm glad you liked it. So I think these would be fun too for this kids for each school year. There's tons of ways to use this. I like this. I'm enjoying this book. So I hope you enjoy it. I thank you for coming. Let me share with you some information. We are going to start again. We took a little break last month from our Scrappy Challenge. Oh, you can see my green shirt. See? Green shirt. Woohoo. Scrappy Challenge is back. For the Scrappy Challenge, it will start tomorrow. I will put up the link for it tomorrow. Nice to meet you, JJ. It's recorded, so always come back. And what you're going to do is scrapbook your Christmas. You don't have to make a mini album or anything like that, or even make a book. Just put up pictures of your scrapbooks for Christmas. If you do make a mini, we'll let it count twice. But Make Mine a Mini, I think, was one of the last ones we did. And so will make this one about scrapbooking Christmas pages. And if you do make a mini Christmas album, then you can enter that twice, okay? That will be on my blog shortly. All of my supplies, except for, I think, the DMC floss, I got at cutandpastememories.com. That's my mom's store. If you don't see it online, just ask her. She does special orders. Great customer service. So please, 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 give her some love. I stream also Leslie Ray's Crafty Gig every second and fourth Friday of the month. And so I will be back next Friday for a crafty show, and it's still going to be Christmas in July. And that will be at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, same bat channel, same bat time, only, crafty instead of scrappy. And the new challenge starts this week, Mama. We don't have a challenge winner because we didn't have a challenge for June into July. And those are where you can find me, my blog spot, at my fan page, and follow me on Twitter. I'm part of The Odd Show, and we have dailies and reboots, and you can find us on The Odd Show Live, and at link 2 is where we stream for the dailies. In August, the dailies will be taking a break, but they're still Monday, Wednesday, Friday until then. The reboots are in the evenings at random 9 o'clock time on random days. Lately they've been being Wednesdays. While Amanda's away, I may stream on Thursdays unless she has a stream that week. And then we also do special events, and we have a special event upcoming on October 6th. It's the Odd Show Live card making event. And it's going to be jam-packed full of demoers and prizes and lots of card making ideas. So I hope you can join us. The new challenge is to scrapbook your Christmas. So make Christmas scrapbooks. If you make a mini Christmas album, it can be double entry. Okay? And I'll put that up tomorrow. So here's where we went with this, Mommy. Made a book. I've got some more signatures to add to it. And then started getting some pages in here. I've got some shorty pages. And these pages can go up or down. You can put them anywhere. You could put pockets in here too. There's all kinds of fun stuff. Okay? So get your ideas going using Wassel. So I hope you have a great evening. I will see you next week. Thanks, Dawn. I appreciate that. I had fun. I've been enjoying making books. Oh, let me tell you one more thing. I'm a kit, people. I'm a kit. Look. This kit that I showed you earlier, I showed it off camera because it wasn't ready to go up yet. But it is up now. Up. And this kit is at alteredpages.com if somebody wants to throw that up. And it's all pockets. And look, there's pockets in here that you can take the stuff out. And it comes with all the fun stuff and the digis and all the pockets. And yes, thank you, Dawn. And you can buy it as a kit now. And all these cute little pockets, very interactive, very fun. The whole kit tells you is about how to make the book and everything. She wrote on there, she being Jean, the owner, that it was a $61 value, and she's selling it for $44.75. And it comes with the complete instructions and pictures and all that stuff. So each of these is a pocket. In case you missed that earlier, each of these is a pocket. So I'm a kit. Check me out. It's fun to be a kit. You can be a kit too. No. Anyway, there you go. I'm a kit. I'm excited. You can be excited for me, or you can just go, meh, I don't care. But anyway, different kind of book. I hope y'all have a good evening. Thank you for coming. Good night.